Topic 3.1 Empires Expand. Imperial expansion and the use of gunpowder. In the Ottoman Empire, sultans like Mehmed II and Suleiman the Magnificent expanded their territories using the formidable power of cannons and gunpowder weaponry, such as during the capture of Constantinople in 1453. That sort of sets this period off. The Manchu Qing Dynasty, the Manchus, employed gunpowder weaponry to displace the Ming Dynasty, setting up the Qing in its place, though to a certain degree they did that by giving away gunpowder weaponry and setting off internal rebellions. Their dominance was further solidified with the continued incorporation of gunpowder tactics, and they expanded China greatly. The Mughal Empire, the founder, I believe he started out as a teenager. Babur utilized gunpowder technology to a great extent. He wrote about it in his personal memoirs, and most notably at the Battle of Panipat in 1526, when he essentially pushed out the remnants of the Delhi Sultanate. In the Russian Empire, czars like Peter the Great really insisted that Russia embrace gunpowder technology, and it expanded across Siberia and into Central Asia. The Tokugawa shogunate, firearms were introduced by the Portuguese, and they significantly influenced the unification of Japan. Notably, they were deployed in the siege of Osaka, solidifying the Tokugawa shogunate's power and wiping out Takeda Shingen. The Spanish Empire, in turn, the conquistadors were armed with gunpowder weapons and steel armor, so they had a significant technological advantage over the indigenous civilizations they encountered in the New World. Their cannons, muskets, and crossbows played a crucial role in their conquests, though we should not figure that would have necessarily happened without the power of disease. For the Aztecs in 1519, Hernan Cortés and his men arrived on the coast of what is now Mexico. By forming alliances with rival city-states, there was a rebellion, and using their superior weaponry and tactics, they managed to lay siege to and capture the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan by 1521, effectively bringing an end to the Aztec Empire. The Incan Empire, similarly in 1532, Francisco Pizarro and his small force arrived in the Incan Empire. Taking advantage of a recent civil war and the empire's political vulnerabilities, and armed with advanced weaponry, Pizarro captured the Incan emperor Atahualpa and later executed him in front of everyone, leading to the rapid decline of the once mighty Incan Empire. Oh, we had political and religious disputes. A big one was the Ottomans versus the Safavids, and the Safavids were big on the idea of the purification of Islam. Much like when you encounter them, the Puritans are big on the idea of the purification of the Catholic Church and the Church of England, ultimately. The Ottoman versus Safavid conflict, however, was in Islam. It was a division between the Sunni Ottoman and the Shia Safavid empires. It led to a conflict in the Battle of Chaldiran in 1514, and tensions continue in many cases to this day. The Mughal Empire, while Akbar practiced religious tolerance, he incorporated India's Hindu majority. Later rulers like Aurangzeb, partially because he wanted to fully conquer the country, leaned more towards orthodox Sunni policies, which caused unrest with the Hindus. In the Russian Empire, there was expansion into Central Asia, and it led to conflicts with Muslim Khanates, spurred by religious differences between Orthodox Christianity and Islam. And the Songhai Empire, it was one of the dominant states in West Africa, and its rise was influenced by military conquests and trade networks. Yet that Islamic trade leadership often meant that they found themselves in conflict with neighboring non-Muslim states. A further look at what the Spanish did. The Spanish were not just motivated by the quest for gold and riches. This was God, gold, guns, and glory, but also by a desire to spread Christianity, the God on that list. The Spanish crown and the Catholic Church believed in converting the indigenous populations of the New World because they thought they could turn them into soldiers against the Muslims and teach them to use gunpowder. Didn't quite work like that, though. With the Aztecs, after the fall of Tenochtitlan, the Spanish undertook efforts to convert the Aztecs to Christianity. They destroyed many Aztec religious sites, replacing them with Christian churches, and suppressed indigenous religious practices, though many of those continued on in secret. The Incan Empire, similarly, in the Incan territories, Spanish authorities sought to replace indigenous religious practices with Catholicism. Many Incan religious artifacts were destroyed or repurposed for Christian rites.